to the quiz. And then I'll click the next question. Right. That was tough.
Yeah.
What's tough?
It's like a okay.
Oh, it was
I was very concerned about the book part, but I was like, it made sense.
I got it right.
Hey, Nathaniel. Because I definitely did not. So, what made you pick that one?
The second and the third answer went together. That's how I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was talking about a sequel,
Right.
and then when I read the next answer, I was like, maybe this goes with the sequel. So that was
Okay.
that was my
Look at
reason.
you. You're looking at patterns. I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's a good one. It's in the book it just says Levinson's theory originally derived by interviewing 40 middle-aged men from different backgrounds, suggested 3 major transitions. And the first transition is known as early adult transition. And the second transition comes in midlife one, which is age 40 to 45. And then the last one is at age 50. Age 50 transition occurs. And then later in life, okay. All right. So we know Levinson, the father of multicultural counseling, wrote the 1978 classic and postulated a midlife crisis for men. All right. Let's go to the next one. Hmm. 'All right. Anybody get it correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, me too.
I got it correct.
Okay. The reason why I picked the B is because close proximity, like you're close in that person space, and physical attraction and having something in common.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Similar beliefs stuck out the most.
Because all the ego and stuff, I was like, no, that's not attractive. So
not at all.
I don't think that's right. But yes, okay. Any questions about this?
Nope.
All right. 10 seconds.
Panic.
I'm sorry, I made you.
It's okay. I was like,
I closed my eyes to just pick one.
But I was looking at that. I think that's B.
Yes.
I don't know why I picked projective test. That makes no sense. They're more accurate. See, that's a panic situation.
Yeah, that was the only one that seemed to make sense to me. Nathaniel, was that the case for you?
Yes.
Okay. Question was 12. Did anybody need to go over the explanation?
No.
They kind of get that. Okay. All right. Cool. So
Stick
then
with your gut, right?
say that again.
You gotta stick with your gut.
Yeah, yeah. You don't second guess yourself. Like that's what happened with me. Like as soon as I saw that answer, I was like, oh, I just clicked on it. I didn't think about it. But if I would have second guessed myself, I probably would have did the same thing too. So mm,
Okay.
all right. Yeah. Nathaniel, you got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Was she a feminist theorist? Carol
So
Gilligan?
yeah, so according to Gilligan, Colbert story did not deliberate. Yeah, did not deliberate the notion that women place more emphasis on caregiving and personal responsibility than men. So let's look up. Let me look at my notes and look up this theorist. See, Gilligan, and then Gilligan Island came up. That's or something.
I know.
That's
That is
definitely
funny.
not it. I am no. So I can't find my notebook. Um, Gilligan argued that girls exhibit distant patterns of moral development based on relationships and on feelings of care and responsibility. Yes, it's female. Her work soon inspired and informed a feminist-oriented movement and a philosophical ethics known as the ethics of care. Her name is Carol Gilligan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here, Carol Gilligan, you think feminist, you think girls exhibit more patterns of moral development based upon relationships and feelings. Pretty much that women are emotional, I guess, because they care. All right. Next.
Hmm.
Okay, that's interesting.
Probably the first one though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
After I answered, I said yes.
No, it's
Oh
the second one.
shit.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
You
fine.
recording this. You recording this. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
look, it's okay. The civil rights movement. Let's look into that. What's the question? What was that? 14? All right.
Interesting.
First, remember that intercultural counseling means the same thing as multicultural counseling. If the term pops up on you in the exam, so remember that intercultural counseling means the same as multicultural. Jensen, choice A, tried to prove that African Americans had lower IQs due to genetic factors. We know about Tarasov, that's the duty to warn. So we know it's not that one. So it had to be B. So it's like the process of elimination
Mm-hmm.
in regards to that, but just remembering what the other options are. Does that make any sense to anyone, or do we need further clarification?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Go to the next one. All right, who got that? Who got that into?
All of us.
Yeah, I got that one. Only reason why I picked Only reason why I picked that one was because prognosis to me reminds me of treatment planning. And it just talks about the prognosis of someone to recover, like the book says.
Right.
When charting the client's file, a counselor would do well to discuss the length of treatment and the status expected at the end of treatment. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Who was able to get that one?
We all got it.
I got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Go
You
up.
said you got anything?
Yeah, we got it. All got it. Yeah.
Oh yay! Good, good. I didn't see that part. I was kind of slow on my screen. Good, good, good. All right, so we can go to the next one then. I think I got that one right. I think it was both.
That's what I picked too.
Yeah, I didn't pick it. I was like, no, it's not right. And then I picked another one. Oh, it was aggression?
Wow.
Hey,
Oh, let me go look at that. 17. 17, right?
That's the perspective.
which is surprising.
Say it again.
I said the response they give. I just did. I expected it to say something else.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Sometimes the question goes out of order. But the only reason why I picked poor economic conditions correlate highly with aggression because people get frustrated and angry because of the living situations they're in, the accessibility of resources, and so they become angry and fed up. So that was the one of the reasons why I picked aggression.
Mm.
Non-assertive, I didn't pick that only because that's just a way someone presents. In passivity, I didn't really pick that one either. Just aggression was like a response to being in very poor economic conditions. So I'll chart that down to figure out what number. Okay. Okay, we all got that right. Cool beans. Let's go to the next one. Tough. John Dillard and Neil Miller.
Those names.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to highlight those names because those are not familiar to me.
Yeah. So John Dillard. Just question number 19. The Dollard and Miller hypotheses asserts that frustration leads to aggression. And of course, with Albert Ellis, the father of rational emotional behavior therapy, does not agree with the frustration aggressive theory. So when you think of Dollard, however you say the name, Dollard and Miller, you think aggression theory, frustration aggression theory.
Right. Okay, I got it. I'll just have to look into those. I only picked Ellis because no, it wasn't Robert or Eric Byrne. I don't know why I picked Ellis.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Five seconds. Festengers. Interesting name. Okay. So who had got Festengers right? Nathaniel?
No, I didn't get it right.
Okay. Angeline?
I only picked him because we just talked about Dollard and Miller.
Yeah.
I know about Holland and Supers, and I don't remember reading anything about Roe.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think it was the Kreitz or Kritz or whoever that is in Rose. So Festengers just makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Just process of elimination and seeing what you remember, especially if you just had those similar questions for Dollard and Miller, and you know Holland and Super. So it's like once you know who those theories are, picking the choices will be a lot easier. All right, let's go to the next one. The same one twice on here. You write that down. Show the 21. Oh, I didn't get a chance to pick. I was gonna pick B.
Culture includes customs. Okay.
Okay. Culture excludes. But then the other one has the same thing, so I'm about to fix that one. Number 21. Change answers.
I thought that the first one was correct because just based off of the students that I have worked with, and the families, like they wait a minute, one culture will have norms which differ only. Yeah, they slightly differ from one another, but they all seem very similar. But I didn't think about the excluding the customs of it. Okay. Which maybe.
The only reason why I didn't pick that one because it says only. So that just means that they're making a general statement that it's only a slight difference between one culture and another when it's not true because there's also big differences.
Right, that's very true too. I didn't even pay attention to that only word. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. I got to look out for that.
No problem.
What's wrong?
Describes how people are supposed to act. Did anybody get that right?
I did not.
Because I did not. So, the only thing I think is that a statistical norm measures actual conduct, while cultural norm describes how people are supposed to act. So when you look at the keyword cultural norm, it's the expectation of what is culturally acceptable.
Uh-huh.
So that's probably why that is describe how people are supposed to act. And then if you look in the book, what's that, 22? Choice B is the best. No, choice B is the direct antithesis of the correct alternative choice A. Some multicultural practitioners suggest that culture is really a system of norms. Here's an important distinction. A statistical norm measures actual conduct, while cultural norm describes the best expectations of how one should act.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Four seconds.
I knew I was wrong.
All right, so I picked regard regarding the righteousness of wrongness because you talk about moral beliefs, and that kind of remind me of the id id super ego and ego, where the super ego is like the voice of morality, because you want to make sure you choose what's acceptable in society. You always go from what's right or wrong. So to have morals, it's like to have morals. If you look at it, similar to morals.
Gotcha. Okay. I like that connection.
That's how I'm trying to connect it in my mind.
I don't blame you. I was about to say, I'm good with the Gilligan's Island too. I was like, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, wait. All right. Any questions, Nathaniel?
No, no.
Okay. All right.
How did I get this wrong?
Okay. So who picked Frank Parkson? I picked that one too.
I did.
Okay.
I
Tell me
didn't.
why you picked that one. Nathaniel.
Um, it just reminded. Well, as I read the answers, it remind me of Is he a career theorist?
Let me double check. Frank Parsons theory. Yeah, so Parsons developed the idea that an ideal career is based on matching personal traits like skills, values, personality with job factors such as pay and work environment.
Okay.
hmm So when it comes to social and cultural, let's look at the book. What question was that? 22.
Probably-
20.
It's one. It's different for my book, but it's probably different in yours.
Frank Parson and his associates are considered the first social formers concerned with guidance in the United States. But the thing is like focus heavily on social and cultural issues can be like confusing because it's nothing in here that indicates like what connection that could be based on the options for answers.
Right.
So that's like trying to make that connection of that. So when you think Frank Parson, think focus heavily on social and cultural issues and career.
I don't like that answer.
You said what?
Oh, okay.
It was all of them.
I didn't like my answer. I was thinking hard about that one.
Yeah, I was gonna pick all of them too, but then like what threw me off was the universal culture.
Yeah,
Um,
right. I was gonna say
yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
I was like that. Okay, well, that doesn't. That's too broad. So let's look at the reason for that. Angeline, what'd you get?
I got it correct.
Okay. So it's Angeline, how you got to that answer?
Well, I just like you said with the universal one, it just didn't make sense to me, and I was like, with it being at the polar region and the equator, I was like, the national and ecological culture would probably be the one that made the most sense.
Mm-hmm. And Nathaniel, you got that right too, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying. Anything you want to add to it? To how you got to
Um,
that answer?
I felt bad about it, but I'm glad I got it right. Because I was thinking more so of nationality, because regardless of the location, it's really considered on, how they live their lives or whatever have you. And then I started thinking about the second answer, C, and I was like, okay, that may be a not necessarily you can counsel for somebody in that ecological area, meaning what? Because they live in the snow, or I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta look that up.
So I can read
In
some of
what different way? Like what? Everybody
um,
hunting and fish and get food or whatever have you. They got to fish or whatever, or I don't know. Like I don't know. It didn't really make sense. The
yeah, really.
ecological culture.
Yeah.
For
So
me, I gotta look that up.
yeah, I can read it right now. So, ecological culture implies that cultural norms are often the result of practical and survival behaviors related to the climate or the resources in the given physical or geological environment. So, that's what ecological culture means. Like, what are the cultural norms there? And is it like how is the survival there? If they're living in the polar region and the weather is harsh and they have to have their own way to survive, like eating, drinking, clothing, shelter, these behaviors would be different than someone else in New York. So it's just all about like the diversity of their culture versus another culture. So I guess that's why it would be universal as well. Well, would be universal. Would be um the other,
National
yeah,
ecological.
national
National.
culture and yeah. Because universal just automatically means like everything is the same culture. Like we know it's not that because everything's not universal. Just like teaching modalities would not be universal for one culture or another culture. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, ecological culture is how they survive in that given area based on other places as well. That's different. And national culture is um just their nationality, different nationality of culture. Yeah.
What there is this under? You know?
This is Clermont Ventress.
Mm, okay.
Yeah,
I'll
Clermont
look that up too.
Ventress. The
Cool.
Polar. Think about the Polar Express.
Okay.
That's what I do. I just kind of like put stuff towards them. But yeah. Um. All right. Any other questions? We can go to the next one. Okay. Mm.
Mm.
What am my breath pressing that one? I don't know. Universal culture.
So yeah, we just thought
We
how
just
it's not
talked
gonna
about
be
this.
right.
I got it wrong. I was not. I don't know. Biological similarities and sameness are indicated by universe. I don't know why I was thinking ecological.
Look at that. Yes, I have some
Yeah.
questions. Um, the Human Genome Project has verified that biologically we are all more alike than different. The Adapt Multicultural Council will always keep in mind that he or she, like the client, is a product of universal culture. That's an explanation. Does that ring a bell to anyone?
I'll have to look more into that.
Yeah, that's a very short answer.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that we're more alike than different.
That's
Then it's
interesting.
like, but are we like, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely look into that. I'll put that down as something to talk more about. Let me make a note. So we can talk about it the next time. All right, let's go to the next one. Mm.
I should have been working in the elementary school.
Yeah, I'm picking that one too, actually.
You picked that one?
Yeah, I was
Uh,
wrong.
I clearly picked the wrong one.
Oh,
Um,
but I mean that would make the most sense. But yeah, nearly
yeah,
there's a
it's
lot
nearly
of
identical. So I was gonna pick that one, but I was like, well, there has to be some diversity. But when you see it's nearly, keyword is nearly identical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the key word to think when looking at it, because I just thought like, no, it was saying all cultures. I think I got caught up on the all instead of the nearly. So it's like you gotta really read it.
It
Um,
messed you
knowledge.
up with the black or white though. You know, they tried
Yeah,
to put the black or white against you.
you know what? And I
And
said,
I
no,
was like,
that is
okay,
not
no,
right.
I ain't going for it.
Exactly. I said that's racist. I'm not just gonna hold you. I was like, that is
I'm not going
racist.
for it. Right.
everything is racist nowadays.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was like, that's not right. So now we know early
Right.
vocalization in infants is nearly
Okay.
identical in all cultures around the globe. Because then you gotta think like the expected age of milestones and talking, stuff like that is nearly identical. Depends on if the child hits a milestone or something's developmentally wrong or whatever the case is, their culture, etc. All right. Next.
There they go with the black Asians again.
I know, it just keeps going. I don't know what's going on. I'm about to email Dr. Rosenthal again. I talked to him the other day.
Okay.
Oh, ethnic groups. How individuals felt towards other ethnic. Oh. Anybody get that correct?
I
Nathaniel?
did. Yes.
I see your
I
school.
want to know from the last question that that was that question reminded me of a school counseling.
Yeah, and I mean,
aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's why I picked elementary school. I'm sorry. But go
absolutely.
ahead.
That's the only reason I did it because when you listen
Yeah,
to politics, that's all they talk about.
exactly.
Blah blah blah, but that's never the situation because math is universal. So that's just
Mm,
those things. I guess we just have to take out that school counseling aspect and just
yeah,
think as a counselor
yeah,
itself. Do you work in the
absolutely.
elementary school?
No, I do not.
Oh, I do. They drive you crazy.
I would say a prayer for you.
Yeah, please do because every day I enjoy it. But I ain't gonna lie, I just don't
Mm-mm.
pay enough.
I couldn't do it. Um, so do we
Ma-
have any?
it made the
Go ahead,
most sense.
Nathaniel.
It made the most sense to me.
Okay.
This question.
It did.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The social distance scale, social economic. Okay. I thought it was social economic trends, but it wasn't. Okay. All right. Did anybody want an explanation of why that was the answer?
Talk about it. Yeah, I guess it just made. I mean, I picked socioeconomic because they talked about the social distance scale. I just thought
Yeah.
that makes sense, but I guess I don't know Emery Bogardus. So I just need to look him up. There's a lot of names that I'm not familiar with that they didn't go over.
Mm-hmm.
I was in school, which was over a decade ago. So
Yeah.
it's nothing wrong with researching again.
Yeah. I would definitely like highlight those people that you don't recognize. That way you can go back and delve back into them. And then too, like I can highlight it too, and then we can go over like the key areas of these individuals.
Uh-huh.
So let me highlight this real quick.
Yeah. The 1920s didn't seem like Black and Asians had language barrier issues. If anything,
Mm-hmm.
um, probably the less interaction that they had with them in the United States disadvantaged youth. I think that was the 20s was kind of the roaring 20s, so they was wild, they were kind of wild back then. So
Mm-hmm.
when I thought about individuals felt towards ethnic groups, I said, okay, that's probably what started. Talks about slavery and the end of
Mm-hmm.
the slavery and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay, we can go to the next one.
Clean up.
One thing ain't working. Oh my goodness, my thing didn't load.
I didn't even click anything.
It didn't even load for me. It's
That
not
was too
cool.
much to read, right?
It
Yeah.
was a lot to read, but
I
then
was like, hold
also
up.
he was like, wait. According to the foot in the door technique, which has two different distinct steps, a counselor who needs to make a visit to a visiting client's home should ask to come in the home. Man,
I guess
should
the
conduct.
where I
I'm
mean,
not gonna have a therapy session on the porch.
You definitely cannot, and
But
should double
I was like
bind the
more
client.
secure.
Double,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
that.
like, well, can I come in? You gonna have your foot like I'm thinking about you got one foot, you got one foot in, and I'm like, well, can I come in? We could talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like more comfortable and sit down, relax or whatever.
Right.
But I thought the question was initially asking about safety, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So it kind of threw me off.
Yeah,
I was like, it's a lot to read. Okay,
it
cool. I
is
got
a lot. You
it.
got it right. It is a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the next one.
Okay.
It's tricky.
Very much so.
Like national or regional?
Definitely not regional.
That's probably regional. Oh,
No, it's
really?
not. It's national.
And that's what
I
I
saw it
picked
was
too.
wrong.
And
I picked
No.
national.
I picked
Gotta tell-
national because it covers more of an area than regional. That's the only reason I picked national, because it's a larger selection.
That's true. Why'd you pick it, Nathaniel? Same reason.
I was thinking about it, like who actually used the language,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess it was a bigger coverage, I guess, than regional. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I definitely agree on that.
But then I second guessed, and I was like, dialects and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So but I'm glad I made the right decision.
Look at that. All right.
Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
Is a self-perpetuating independent group which occupies a definite territory. Okay, Nathaniel, you got that right?
No, I did not.
Oh,
No.
you sound like you ain't got it right. Oh, okay, Nathaniel, he's rocking and rolling.
I was.
So, yeah, whereas a culture is defined primarily via norms by use, a society differs from culture. So, like keyword, a society differs from culture in that a society. Oh, go ahead, Nathaniel.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh no, I was just trying to pick out some keywords of
Right.
culture. So if you look at the explanation,
Which was, I mean, and like when you read it, that a society differs from a society in that a society, which means the independent group which occupies, or yeah.
Yeah, that sounds the most educational.
It's too wordy.
Yeah. It's definitely wordy.
It's okay.
Definitely wordy. Yeah. So
but this will make us sharp though, in
it
a lot of
will.
different areas, because the test is long, but you really have a certain amount of minutes, I guess, for a question. So
Yeah.
because it's a lot of questions.
Yeah. So I've heard too. And then like with society is like the society at large. You think about it like that. Oh, the society at large, but then you have culture, and it's like culture is like really independent, like a subgroup. They have their own like beliefs and stuff that goes on in their norm. All right. The next.
Oh, here goes that keyword I can't stand. Ethnocentrism. The center of central.
I like this.
What? Ethic? What is that? That's what it is. The ethnocentrism and ethic. I can never get those situated.
I know I have gotten that wrong. I'm not. Yeah.
Got it wrong.
I'm quite sure I did.
Yeah,
I didn't pick nothing.
I got it wrong.
Time's up.
Uses one own culture as a yardstick to measure all races. What?
That doesn't
measure all others. Let me see. 32. You got that right. You know why?
I didn't pick anything.
Oh no! It says statements ethnocentrism. Statements like superior race, savages, backwards people, or the chosen few captures the essence of the concept of ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism. In short, all societies are ethnocentric in the sense that they use their own views and standards of reference and view themselves as superior. Again, ethnocentrism conveys the notion that one's group is superior. So you think ethnocentrism, you think of superior.
You said you think as a what?
As superior.
Oh, okay.
So they use their own culture. Like when they say uses one culture as a yardstick to measure others, they base everything on their culture compared to other cultures. It's almost like the other term that we just used for the other question.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The social scale or something? I forgot what that was, right? And it talks about how, people are, different than other people, right? So here, people in ethnocentrism, they look at themselves as better than other people, and they use their own measuring and ideas to determine if that person or that culture is good enough. But typically, they're superior anyway. Doesn't matter. So you think ethnocentrism? Think of measurement of another culture's values and beliefs.
I need to break down that ETHN part. Need some etymology terms for this to break it down too. That'll help me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Words get on my nerves. Jolie, do I need to sign it?
You go ethnocentric, you guys.
Here we go again. Always sorry. So based off of what we just talked about, I hope I got it right.
I'm just gonna go with this one. The gross domestic product in the United States.
Are you kidding me?
Let me just double check this. Let's just look at what question is this? 33.
So what did everybody? I picked. Okay, you can't trust anyone.
Blue collar work.
That's what I
did. I picked. You don't want to not pick A.
No, it's okay. I was just like, no, Americans are not. But I was just like, the gross domestic product in the United States exceeds the figure in.
Oh, do you get that? So the gross domestic product. So they're comparing themselves to Mexico.
Oh,
it's better. The gross domestic product is in the United States exceeds the figure of Mexico. So therefore, you're doing that ethnocentrism comparison that the United States is better than Mexico.
I'm over it. I'm telling you, between that and ethic, I'm over it.
Oh, and they're not talking about a person; they're talking about a product.
Right. Right.
I get it. Okay. There we go.
Ethnocentrism is based on the opinion, while choice D is fact.
Y'all got it.
You're done. Next question.
I like it. I'm okay. I'm over it.
Hey, look, you can get at least one wrong on it. More than one wrong.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it. I'm not even mad. Put it out there. Something so simple.
Here we go again. All right. See then. Ethnocentrism is.
Okay, this gotta be. I gotta get this one right at least.
Questions. So many questions.
Bam.
You got it right, Nathaniel.
I don't know. Yes, I did.
I think, did we all get it right? I'm excited now.
I did not. You guys celebrate for me because I did not. Yeah. So tell me why you guys picked B and C.
Okay, so let's see, promotes a sense of patriotism and national sovereignty. So I guess just being proud of who you are, where you come from, promotes stability and pride, yet danger in the nuclear age. So I guess to me it's that comparison again about one being stronger than the other. And it's not universal because I don't remember anything in the past two questions about that. So I just thought that B and C were the most were the best choices. Made the most.
Nathaniel, anything you want to add?
Oh yeah, sure. It reminded me of the last question. So promote a sense of patriotism and national sovereignty reminded me of the American answer and the blue collar answer. That went with that, and then promote stability and praise, yeah, danger to nuclear age. it was a question about being 40, which you gave the answer to. The last question.
Yep.
So yeah, I was like, okay, bad.
There you go. See,
Yay.
Angeline, ethnocentrism and
What the ethno whatever. That's the whatever. I'm about done with that word. I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow. It's gonna be ethnocentrism.
It's gonna haunt me in my dreams. I'm not sleeping. I'm gonna wake y'all up when I'm awake.
Oh no. Go to the proper individual.
That's some bull.
I heard that, Nathaniel.
I heard it.
I heard that. So
I didn't cuss this time.
No,
who got it? Who got it right?
I got it.
Y'all
Right.
got it
Y'all
right.
got it.
Oh, we all did. But why you say that's not accurate? Nathaniel.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that. Where your cursor is, I didn't like that response. Even
Oh,
before
right
you
here?
put that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, you need to talk to your boy, Rosenthal, okay?
Mm-hmm. I'll
Tell
email
him,
him again.
yeah, tell him he got to figure some things out. Feeling some kind of way.
He needed to update another, like a fifth edition next.
Yeah, I
Fix
feel like
this.
it's all it's not accurate. It's just like how the
Mhm.
kids are struggling with taking their test because it's not fair. It's not fair for us either. So
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I'm just assuming everybody's black on the Zoom.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. I'll just make an assumption, that's
Oh
all.
no, yeah. No, it's fine. You gotta do what makes sense, or at least question stuff that's supposed to make sense.
Right. Needs to be equitable because it's
Mm-hmm. Not ethnocentrism.
no, yeah, definitely not.
Mm.
Oh, picked it last minute. Uh-oh. That was quick. Others are still answering. What? I thought I had. I didn't,
204. Okay. It was 204, I think. I thought it was.
Yeah, I got it right.
Man.
And see, I wasn't sure about that one. A relationship will endure if the rewards are greater than the cost. Okay.
So like, definitely not one for me because like if both are assertive, then no one's listening.
Yeah,
And then
it's
if both parties are sexually attracted, just because you're sexually attracted by anyone doesn't mean that
right.
you know.
Yeah,
And
no,
then this at the end is just don't make no sense.
it doesn't. It's
Nah,
not.
because I thought because how old is the third? That's why I was like, it could be an old one that may postulate that, you know.
That's true. That's
There's
true.
two females on this line.
That's why I was like, it's either 2 or 4.
That's all we can say is
I know.
We waiting. We are waiting.
Oh no. Go to the next one.
Hmm.
And so it's B and C. I picked C. Anybody got that right? No.
I didn't get it right.
It moved from cognitive inconsistency to. I need the rest of the questions.
To consistency.
Oh, duh. It's all about balance. So move from inconsistency to balance. So I think of equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing with C, it's a tendency to achieve balance in a cognitive state. Oh, so clearly I didn't read the whole thing. But you just think about balance. It's equilibrium, balance on both sides. Anything like inconsistency, from consistency to inconsistency, we know that's not the answer. So it had to be both of these at least.
Okay.
Mm. Doo-doo. Okay. Who got that?
I got it wrong.
I got it right. Daniel, how'd you do?
I got it right.
Nice.
Got it
So
wrong.
what made you pick that one,
Who, me?
Nathaniel?
Let's see. Process elimination more so.
Mm-hmm.
Then I picked the most. I scratched out 1 and 2. And then yeah, you don't know how socially adept they are.
Right. And then also say someone's not very intelligent because there are people who like other people that are intelligent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was just like a big no for me. And then non-assertive is like, it could be either or. Just depends on person's what they're attracted to. And aggressive definitely didn't
Right.
feel good to say that was right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Bad choice on my.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to
So,
talking about some. All right.
Yeah, a little late, but
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
I ain't even have enough time.
You ain't have enough time?
So
Don't worry. I got mine wrong.
That happened to me a lot. Don't feel bad. I ain't gonna lie.
I swear.
Hold on. You got that right. Angeline.
Okay.
Okay, come through. So tell me how you got that.
Right.
The pressure.
Just trying to come. I don't know. Let me see. The Native Americans. That's too specific. African Americans. I'm tired of hearing about that.
Yeah.
Attractiveness has nothing to do anything with that population. So it's just a process of elimination for me.
Yeah. Once you think about it, it kind of like weans out the right answer. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, tricky.
Yeah, it didn't make me feel good when I answered it either.
Yeah, and I was wrong. Must be done with the context. Okay,
Who got that right? Okay. Yeah, I put I put B. Because must be performed without regard to cultural issues was definitely like unethical and not culturally sensitive. And so the only other one it could be was to be done within the cultural context so you can get an idea based on someone else's culture. It might be their symptoms might be related to like their customs or stuff like that, their beliefs. So that's why I picked B.
You still got to be sensitive to the cultural issues. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was just thinking, like, it's been so long ago, but just when you are working with different cultures, you do want to make sure that you stay focused on the topic at hand, but you still have to be sensitive to their beliefs. So, yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of reminded me when I was working with um a Muslim client and women can't like can't shake hands. Like you can't shake hands with the male. Like you have to be um acknowledging and aware of their customs
Mm-hmm.
as well.
I experienced that with a African American, well, African client,
Mm,
and she
yeah.
wouldn't look me in my eyes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. You guys gotta be aware of what that looks like. Let's see. We'll try to get to 50 before 10:30. Um, I think it was less.
Really?
Yeah. I picked the wrong one, but I remember being one of those. So less social conformity than he or she from a client. So if you think about the question it's asking, or statement, it's saying counsel who is seeing a client from a different culture would most likely expect less because that person is not within their own culture.
Right. And
So
and
right. Based on a client that will be from his or her own culture, it'll be something different, right?
right.
So they won't have any resistance or any possible barriers. So, and then
Agree.
you have the same realistic, which is definitely not the answer. Um, all right. Any questions before I go to the next one?
No.
All right. Okay. Who got that right?
I think we all did. I
Yay.
know y'all got it right. I'm just saying.
Look.
I'm just saying.
Hey, somebody pick something else questionable. It's like no. But yeah, a client's behavior can be sane and appropriate in one and bizarre in another one. And it just talks about cultural sensitivity.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Man, I clicked it too late.
Yeah.
And it was the right answer. I was like, okay. Yeah, I cooked it way too late, you guys, but everyone was right. However, other cultures. So what made anyone pick that one out of all the other ones?
I think simply because I only know what the United States is like. I don't know what any other part of the world is like. And the other cultures that attend the school I work are very hesitant when I ask if they want to be referred out.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like, no, they shut me down. It's like, hey, we're not cool right now. I'm like, look, we're gonna be friends. To say that it's true for LPCs but not MSWs doesn't make sense, or that it's true for LPCs and MSWs when clinical psychologists also see perfect strangers all the time. So it just made sense that it was okay in the United States, but because of the experience I've had with other cultures, that it's not the norm for them to see someone.
Nathaniel, anything else you want to add?
No,
Okay.
you wrapped it up.
Actually,
I appreciate
you
that.
you did good.
I'm gonna come through. Okay, okay.
Give you those snaps.
Yes, I need those snaps. Get an app, tick, tick, boom.
Boom, boom. Brr, 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 brr. All right, let me stop. All right, so
I love you. My kids will not go to sleep because I haven't tucked them in. 10 and 12, and they still want to get tucked in. All right.
Festinger again.
No, my favorite. I'm about to run out of time. A panic. Oh, a panic was right. Okay. And I
You
can't.
got that. You got that right, Angeline.
I did. I did.
Nathaniel.
No, I did not.
Okay. So, Angeline, tell me why you picked that one in the panic.
The last two did not make sense because why would they pick one over the other? And he is not. I don't remember reading about him like having hatred towards one parent more than the other. And then feeling intense guilt. I know that was more of it's the DAMN, the Dollard and whoever the M guy is, Miller, I think. So I just think that B just made more sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Nathaniel, is there a reason why you picked D?
I was overthinking because we had a question about Festinger before, and I
Yeah.
was trying to remember what, um, yeah, what was his theory. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it says cognitive distance, so I didn't. I equated the watch with the father. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a, you know.
Yeah. All right. Trying to see if I can go back and find Festinger, but I'll move on. I'll put that in the list.
Okay. This is interesting.
5 seconds.
Picked one. Just picked one. It's okay.
We find that the number of people who respond to her distress actually decreases as the number of bystanders increases. Because it's weird because like when you think about it, people stand around and like use their phones or like record or like are in shock. You know, some people will shock, fight, flight, or run or whatever. Like people are gonna do what the majority of the people do
Right.
versus the non-majority.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just know if it is a different race, they ain't helping. That makes the most sense.
Yes.
No, that does make sense when you put it that way. I was just thinking about all the things that have happened, like within this past decade, with everyone. And it's just people watching, nobody stepping in. And if you do step in, you get reprimanded anyway. So it's just one of those. You're just put in a tough position, regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything you want to add? Anything?
No.
Okay. All right. I feel like it's projection, but
I think it's projection too, even though I picked something else.
exactly. Oh no, it was right. It's an attempt to reduce this dissonance by denial, thus minimizing. So the only way that makes sense for me is when somebody say, "I don't care about this passing this test, NCE," but they really are really stressed out. So by saying that, they're trying to reduce the tension and the stress.
That's the only reason I picked that, because I'm just like, well, wouldn't it be projection? That's what I was thinking, but I'm glad I picked the wrong answer to be right.
This projection is just like projection is still similarly close, but if you think about tension and exam, the licensing exam, and all the stress that comes with that,
Making those connections.
Anything you want to add? Anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. We'll see about this one.
I'm curious to see what this one
Me
is.
too. Okay, I got that one right. It's an attempt to reduce dissonance via consistent cognitions. All right. So, we all got that right. Yay. Anybody want to go over why they picked it?
It's not displacement, and you're not projecting anything to anyone else. And I don't feel like they're reducing dissonance in an individual because it's just for themselves. So I just thought it was reduce something, and it's consistent cognitions that they're trying to believe themselves.
Yep. Justification, in a sense. Anything you want to add? Anything?
No, I agree.
Okay. Cool. I don't want to keep calling you out anything. I feel bad, like a kid in class, like Nathaniel.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Just had some.
What I did. No, it was wrong.
It was all of them.
I was like, it's either B or A and C.
Yeah. Anyone get that right?
No, I did not.
Did not. Okay, Nathaniel.
Okay, so tell us why you chose that, Nathaniel. Got it wrong.
Funny. I don't know. I just try to read slowly this time. That's it. It just made sense.
That's your quick go to. Yeah, I don't know. Like A and C, he or she might ignore the positive information.
And then focus heavily on the negative information, which makes sense. Those two do connect.
Because a $20,000 watch is a lot, and you feel guilty for buying so much, and then that guilt could probably make you want to sell it. So like, oh, I spent way too much on this, or what other people think? They think I spent too much money on that, or could use it for something else. But
together.
Yeah, but he or she might focus heavily on negative. Yeah, just like the negative connotation of buying something because it's not something. It's not a norm that a lot of people go out and buy $20,000 watches.
No, I mean, yeah, everybody's walking around with that kind of money in their pocket.
I mean, I'm about to buy one tomorrow, to be honest. All right, all right, let's get the next one. We're almost at 50, and then we're good for tonight. Helps them work it out on their own.
Mm.
So the reason I'm thinking that is right is because at that point they're trying to figure out their life, and they need that kind of support. Um, Let me look at the question. Anyone want to add to that? Because we both all picked the same one. 49. The theory here is that most middle and upper class citizens are taught that independence is virtue. The person who would not want to be dependent on a therapist, parents, or others as simply as is implied choice A, B, and D. So one to be independent. So that's probably why they wouldn't want no one to, you want them, they don't want advice. They want to be able to try to like solve it on their own, but with a little bit support.
Right. And as counselors, we're not supposed to give advice anyway. So that picking that answer was just probably not the best way to go.
It's true.
I mean, I picked it too. So.
Look, okay, same here. Just gotta read it clearly. I think because of the timer too, it doesn't allow as much time as we would like on like the exam. But yeah. So the last question.
This is very helpful.
I hope so. I hope it was helpful. It's
It
helpful to me too. Mm,
Oh
all
man.
the above, really?
yeah, I picked all the above. So the reason why I picked all the above was because um everything was like if the council didn't do this or the council would have to do that, and then if it's somebody who is a high level of authority, they're going to expect a high level of care. They're going to be okay. Well, how come you're not doing this? And if you don't, then then you're not a good counselor.
Yeah.
Like they come in and have all these expectations of what you should be doing as a counselor, but the thing is they're not thinking about their part and how they're supposed to be doing this, as you know, right?
Right.
That's the only I picked that one. But in the book it says an active directive model works best for a person who responds well to an authority figure. So that's the answer for D. So it's not really clear, but um, I'll look into that active directive model. So I'll write that down. But other than that, how did everyone feel about the session? It was a good.
I think it was really good.
Thank you.
It was very helpful. Hearing your explanations from your viewpoint is also helpful for me to get a better understanding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good, good. Yeah, hearing everyone else's reason too, is very helpful too, as well. Sometimes I didn't think like that, you know. Um, so it's good to have all perspectives. And then so is everyone available on Friday? Was it Friday? Mondays and Fridays?
What time
Uh,
Friday again?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What time? Is it
It'll be at the same time,
okay?
8:30. Nathaniel, are you available at that time?
What's the date?
It'll be Friday, 8:30.
It's the 31st.
Let me see. It's the 30th.
30th. Oh yeah.
You'll be free.
Yeah, I'll be free.
Okay. And I also think Patricia, I think she said she'll be in um Friday as well, I believe. But I'll talk to her back then about that. And then I'll send another invite out for everyone for Friday.
Thank you.
Otherwise, thank you all for being here and enjoy the rest of your nights.
Thank you for
Yes,
putting this
ma'am.
together.
Yeah, no problem,
Yes.
no problem. And remember, Angeline, ethnocentrism.
I ain't got time for it. It better not be on that test. I know that.
Oh gosh. All right, you guys. Good night.
Good night, y'all.